Hello, what's up everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka ReviewKingMB, and I just got back from the theaters after seeing Skyscraper. Skyscraper is a 2018 film that was directed by Rawson Marshall Thurber, and it stars The Rock. The Rock is playing this ex-military guy who, let's be honest, every movie he's an ex-military guy. You see at the very beginning this incident happened where he lost his leg. Jump ahead to now where he's a family man. He's going to the world's largest building, Nakatomi Plaza. Okay, fine. Maybe it's not Nakatomi Plaza, but it might as well be. It's this huge building in Hong Kong. He's going there to inspect the health regulations to make sure everything's working well until these terrorists show up and they're causing mayhem and destruction. Sound familiar? It should. But not just that, The Rock's family is in this building as well. He has to stop the terrorists and save his family. What I thought of Skyscraper was, for somebody like me who went into this movie with very low expectations. In fact, I just saw this trailer, saw this plot, and thought, wow, what a ripoff of Die Hard. It's so painfully obvious what this movie is trying to do, what it's going for. Hell, it's exactly 30 years since the original Die Hard movie came out, and that film still holds up. It's so great that it's hard. It's hard to do something again, but at least it's not a straight up remake. That's how you know the state of Hollywood nowadays, when I'm giving this movie credit for not just being a flat out remake and actually calling the movie something else. At least there's that. But The Rock is really good. He's had how many movies come out within the last few months? And I was getting to a point where I thought they're all starting to blend together. There's nothing special about them anymore. I'm starting to forget which one's which. The first 10 or 20 minutes or so where you see that scene of him as a military guy and what happened, the explosion where he lost his leg, that was so intense and so real and down to earth. I was like, wow, maybe this will be serious. Maybe it will. And then after that, you still get a pretty grounded plot and what's going on until the terrorists show up, until the fire starts, until the action happens, until The Rock, who has one leg, is jumping off of buildings and doing all of this stuff. That's where it gets a little far-fetched, but I still appreciated the tone for the most part. He tried a little harder to be the family guy, to be more vulnerable with the amputated leg, although it didn't seem to make a whole lot of a difference in some of these situations. Neve Campbell plays his wife, who I was elated to see Neve Campbell play his wife because I love her from the Scream movies, right? Sidney Prescott. And I like that they made her capable, that she was smart and she was able to take care of herself, take care of her kid. Mr. Lau, I want to mention Mr. Lau. He's the guy that made this building, the brains behind it. I call him Mr. Lau because that's always what he will be to me after The Dark Knight. But that's where you get into the plot. And that's where you get into the villains. Because the villains show up, and I don't know if they're terrorists. They could be just thugs. They probably even explain it in the movie, but it's so dumb. Their motivations are so dumb. It's like, wait, you're doing all of this for that? Really? If you want to compare this to Die Hard, Hans Gruber. It's like, really? You couldn't give me somebody that at least was an attempt at playing a memorable, likable villain that did heinous things, but he was mesmerizing to watch? No, you definitely don't get that here. These villains are pretty bad, pretty forgettable. There were some action that some was over the top, but some of it I thought, okay, I'm getting some thrills out of this. I'm getting into this a little bit. Look, this movie should have been a lot worse. This movie should have been terrible. I was expecting for it to be that level, and it ended up being a lot better than I thought. I'm gonna give this a perfect date movie. So guys, let me know in the comments below if you want to see Skyscraper or if you have no interest in seeing Skyscraper. Should it have just been called Sky Hard? Sky Hard with a Vengeance? They might as well have just leaned more towards the silly over-the-topness of it. They probably should have. Maybe it would have been better. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!
Skip a beat, I never press repeat forever, ripping smooth as leather season. Lemon pepper, gotta piece it together like I wrote it in the etch-a-sketch. Concentration breaks away, it shakes away how lyrics so solid.